Hey guys, check this out. We are here with the all-new Kia EV5. It's the latest Kia EV, and Kia are expecting to sell a lot of these. In fact, it's almost going to be selling in numbers, at least Kia thinks, close to the BYD Atto 3. Almost 10,000 of these sold in Australia every year. And we've gotten a pre-production of this. And quite similarly to a BYD Atto 3, this actually uses some BYD technology. In fact, this comes from China. So it's the first time we have a Kia from China in Australia, and it's a pretty cool EV. So today I'm going to take you for a first review of the Kia EV5. We're going to check out the exterior, look at the practicality and the interior, and then I'm going to end on my final thoughts. Should you be lining up to buy one of these, especially in the volume that they're planning on selling and why they're planning on selling that many? Let's get into it. Alrighty, let's talk about the way that the Kia EV5 looks. And in terms of size, it's actually going after the Tesla Model Y. So it's a bit bigger than a BYD Atto 3. It's also actually a little bit smaller in most proportions than a Kia EV6, but is a bit taller as well. So it gives it a very boxy SUV stance, kind of like you would expect from any new SUV these days. You've got these cool daytime running lights here. That's also a sequential indicator. This light bar, unfortunately, will not be coming to Australia, and that's because it doesn't pass pedestrian safety requirements. And this is going for a 5-star ANCAP safety rating. And Kia are quietly confident that they will achieve that. Of course, you have the Kia badge here. It's finished in this really nice blue as well, which is the hero color. So that's cool. You've got a very plugged up grille here, so a very similar design language to the Kia EV9 and frankly every new Kia coming out, including the new Kia Tasman Ute. And if you want to learn more about that, I've linked that video down below. And then you have a bit of open area here with a radar, and that is because this thing will have the latest ADAS driving equipment. Now, it will come in 3 grades, and in terms of pricing, it will start somewhere around 60,000 Australian dollars before on-road costs for the Air variant. It also comes with 2 different battery sizes, but we'll come back to that in just a second. But let me know what you guys think of the looks. I think it looks pretty cool. Let's check out the side. So coming to the side now, you're gonna notice these pretty massive wheels here. They're 19-inch wheels, and they've got this very aero cover to them, of course, to make this car more aerodynamic. It also comes with Nexon tires. Hopefully they're okay. You've got this piano black here as part of the body cladding, which, I don't know, looks okay, but I reckon that will get pretty scuffed pretty easily. And then of course there's this, the charge port. And then in terms of range, again, we don't have anything official, but expect the low 400s for the smaller battery as a front wheel drive. Or if you go for the larger battery front wheel drive, you'll get about 550 or so. We don't actually know yet, but that's kind of what we're speculating. Of course, you can also get this as a GT line that will be coming in the 4th quarter of this year. And there will be not just a motor at the front, but a motor at the back too. So quite a lot of options, quite a lot of range. And that's part of the reason that they think that they can steal sales away from something like the Tesla Model Y, because it is expected to come in a bit cheaper, but with very similar fundamentals. Now, continuing on with the side, you're going to see a 360 camera there. Some pretty interesting materials down there too. You've got pop-out door handles, again, for aerodynamics. No privacy glass here, but you can expect that on higher trims, especially when it comes to Australia. You've got your roof rails up there. And otherwise, it's a really boxy design, and I really like the look of it. Very in fashion at the moment, but let me know again what you guys think of this almost Defender-esque look. Very boxy. I think it's pretty cool. Let's check out the bum. Alrighty, guys, let's talk about the rump derriere of the Kia EV5. I love this light effect here. This is all LED lighting, again, with sequential indicators. You know I'm a bit partial for that. Got a spoiler up here, again, very squared off. In fact, I think it looks really similar to a Hyundai Santa Fe in its design. Again, I think going for that like Defender-esque look. Very, very in vogue. I do think it looks better though than a Tesla Model Y. What do you guys think though? Let me know again down in the comment section. Here you have some black plastic, which I don't love necessarily, but you've also got more of this material too. I don't know, looks pretty cool. Let's talk about what it can fit inside of its bum though. That's exciting. Open this one up. Powered tailgate, always good to see. So we don't actually know how much space it has, but looking here, it's got a decent amount. This is technically the all-wheel drive variant, but no matter which one you get, front-wheel drive or all-wheel drive, has the exact same amount of space. So that also means you get a Frunk. Again, we don't know how big that is, but to my eye, it looks about 50 liters. So it won't be class leading, but it should be pretty good. Inside, you get a decent amount of space, but some really cool features, actually quite innovative. So you've got this like parcel shelf here where you can stand here, do some work, use the V2L plug here. It means that this thing does have the capability to charge up your laptop, for example, while you're working, or you can just use it as a dual stowage device. I don't know, pretty cool. Under here, you've got some more storage here to the sides. You've also got these little hooks here that you can move around, and that's for your shopping bags, things like that, and some more storage up top. So it is actually quite smart packaging, despite volume not necessarily being the best, at least by looks. That's okay. You can also drop the rear seats, and it's got a magnetic fold over it to keep it very flat and nice. So you can get lots of space in here, and it actually is rather practical, but this is what you see that's a little bit smaller than a Kia EV6 in just terms of dimensions. Let's check out the interior. Alrighty guys, coming now to the interior of the Kia EV5. Now, as I said at the beginning of the video, Kia are trying to sell a lot of these based on two really big factors. The first is price. Coming in at about 60 grand, that's going to be really cheap, at least for a car of this size, and an EV of course. So that will undercut the Tesla Model Y, probably. The other thing as well is the ride and handling. That has all been done in Australia. So we have a very unique suspension tune, and they are promising that this will have among best in class, if not the best in class driving dynamics. So that'll be really interesting to see. The downside of the cost part, this being a bit cheaper, is that scratchy materials and they call them vegan materials kind of adorn the interior, and really that just means plastic. So I'm not going to say that it is at first glance the nicest feeling interior in the world, but it is well designed. So some cool things. First of all, this steering wheel, it's nice and chunky, got like this almost D shape to it, feels pretty cool. You got these dual displays here with wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and your air conditioning controls, they do live there, but thankfully they have put in some of the quick access stuff for the things you use most, like temperature and fan speed. The design is actually really interesting. So this whole dashboard is quite interesting. I quite like it. Got a heads-up display in front of you. You also notice this ambient lighting that runs around very much the same as a Tesla Model 3 Highland on the inside. So be interesting to know who copied who with that, because it's quite literally the same. You've got a couple of cup holders here. Well, they're actually hidden until you press a button, and then you've got cup holders, got a wireless charger there, and very open storage area. And these seats, you can see that it kind of runs over. And no, this isn't a dicky seat. You can't just sit someone here and be all fine and dandy. You've got a little storage pocket there for your phone, but actually when you slide forward the passenger seat, it does cover up this area. So interesting design. I'm not sure if it was necessary, but definitely unique. This center armrest though, it is nice and soft, but it doesn't open up, though it does adjust a bit like that. So that's kind of cool. It's got a little hook here. Pretty massive glove box as well. So when you're sitting here in the cabin, it does feel nice, open and airy. You do get a massive panoramic sunroof as well. That's nice. And the seats themselves, they feel pretty good. Again, that faux leather, they are quite comfortable, but it will be interesting to see how it holds up on a longer road trip here in Australia. But first impressions are really good, but I can kind of see where they've cut some of the costs of this vehicle. Let's check out the back seats. Alrighty guys, let's talk about the back seats now. And before we do that, I want to tell you about CarSauce.com/buy, which is where you can buy your next car for the absolute best price with cars that are actually in stock. Of course, you can't buy this yet, but any other car you can. We've partnered with Motorscout, who are Australia's #1 car buying service. We have thousands of dealers. We literally make them fight each other to get you the absolute best price for your next car without any hassle and without any obligations. So if you want to buy any car, head to CarSauce.com/buy and let us help you out. Let's talk about the back seats now, though, of the Kia EV5, because I think that's a strong suit of this car. The biggest thing I notice is that my legs are at a really good angle, despite the battery being in the floor, the BYD battery, might I say. You've got a USB-C port here with a map pocket there, another map pocket, and check this out. You have a picnic table, and that should be coming to Australia as well, but on the passenger side, so it will be over here. At 5'11", I've got heaps of legroom. Toe room is fantastic as well, and headroom is too. So, especially if you're a car ride enthusiast, like an Uber driver, well, you're gonna love the back of this. Pull this down, and you get a couple of cup holders and a nice soft center armrest. Speaking of, these seats are again that PU leather, aka poo leather, but it actually feels pretty good. Also, this little sliding tray here in other markets, and it could be coming to Australia, is a heated and cooled area, so you can keep drinks cool or warm. Very cool. Tell me what you guys think though of the back seats. Is it going to be enough to pull you away from a Tesla Model Y? Definitely a lot more space back here. All right, let's get into our final thoughts. Alrighty guys, final thoughts on the Kia EV9. Should you be buying one of these over a cheaper BYD Atto 3 or the likely more expensive rear-wheel drive Tesla Model Y? Well, honestly, I think you should definitely be lining up to at least look at this thing. We haven't driven it yet, but if their local ride and handling tune is anything to go by on their other models, this is going to be one of the best driving EVs out there. Yes, it does have a lot of BYD technology in it, but that's not a bad thing. They are now the world's largest producer of EVs. So it doesn't matter that it's got a BYD battery pack. In fact, that's probably a good thing, especially if you can charge this to 100%. And that interior is really special, and I love the practicality as well. But let me know what you guys think of the Kia EV5 down below. And if you are looking to buy any car, head to CarSauce.com/buy. We will get you the best prices with cars that are actually in stock. Ciao for now.